Welcome to the Nation's Newsroom, everybody. This is ZNS Newsroom. It's busy in the middle of the day. Reporters working on their stories for tonight. And of course, this is the assignment desk. As you can see on the board, various assignments that will be covered tonight. Let's see what's up on the board. So of course, again, some assignments going on here. With the working on Fern, which is working on Carla, Desmond, Lloyd, Amajal, Jiminita, Antoine. You can see what everybody's working on, pretty much. And that's how they know what's going on. This is assignment desk. This is Andrea Janot, assignment manager.
Hi.
She makes sure our crews get out all the time, don't you, Andrea? How's it been going today? Busy day?
Busy day. I need some vehicles.
That's not a lie. She's telling the truth. Here's the woman who runs the operation. This is Opal Roach.
Hello.
Don't worry, this is not her desk. She has a fancy office in the
That is
executive
not the
wing.
truth.
She's assistant general manager of
But I
news.
work down here too.
So how's it going
I'm a
today?
worker. It's good. It's going pretty good, but it was a very, as you can see, a very tight schedule. And we needed some cars. We had to borrow your car to go on assignment today.
Pretty
So
much.
thankfully, we were able to get your car to get the crews out.
All right. So,
So
see.
we're waiting on those additional cars.
Would say you can't use my car.
I serve great purpose.
Yeah.
I lent them my car. That's why I
Of
came.
course.
Here's news producer and deputy director, Alto Beast Money. Hey, Alto, what you doing?
I am preparing for the news tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Let's see, we're a day ahead. We are a day ahead.
Since we have Bahamas games, trying to make sure that our news is prepared for tomorrow because we have to record early.
Yeah.
So the shift workers that come in the afternoon have to come in the morning, which is not really what we're used to, but we'll get the job done.
We do to make it happen. Good stuff. Alto Beast Money's over there. And then, of course, that's Jonathan Benson. Jonathan is our producer for 7 o'clock news. He's one of the producers. And, of course, this is what the rundown looks like. This is how we plan our newscast. And we do
put it back inside
stuff,
this.
as you can see, all that stuff in red is stories that aren't going to be able to make the news tonight. That's how much information we have. But the stories you see in white, those are various blocks they're going to be in. So he's coordinating his stories. He's on the phone coordinating stories to make sure that we know exactly what the news is going to look like. So it's a busy day in news. And over here, these are reporters that you can see working hard on the story. This is the man himself, Lloyd Allen. Lloyd, what you working on today?
So yesterday there was a fire in Andros.
Yeah, you were actually in Andros yesterday, weren't you?
I was. So today we're doing a follow-up with BPL. I also have some sound bites. I don't know if they know that language.
They know. They should know what that means.
Yeah, so sound bites on speaking with some residents, their concerns, obviously with the power outage. And I have some leftover SOTs from the island administrator who talked about persons taking care specific to medication that needed to be put on ice, and also using generators that could be unsafe sometimes. So those elements, I have about 1 minute and 30 seconds to put
That's
a,
right.
to put
Make
a
it all
report
happen.
together. So I'm hoping.
Good stuff. Thanks. That's on Lloyd Island. Let's go over here and talk to some of the ladies. Oh, this is Antoine. Y'all may have missed Antoine for a couple of months. She was in China. Tell her, how was China?
China was amazing.
What you learned from
Ni
China?
hao, Panyos. That means hello, friends.
Oh. You're happy to be back home, obviously.
So happy to be back home for our 50th independence, getting back in the swing of things. Very excited.
What you working on today?
I am working on somewhat of an independent series. I got to taste some down-home cooking, so you guys will hear all about that tonight.
Awesome. Good. And of course, that's Mr. Linda Smith running. He's in charge of our production team for news. And then, of course, we know this young lady, Miss Carla Palmer. Carla, what you working on?
Everything out of the office of the Prime Minister.
There you go.
today.
Everything out of the office of the Prime Minister. For those who don't know, Carla Cuff is the Prime Minister for us. So, of course, they had the office of the Prime Minister's press briefing today. What's the big story out of there?
Lots. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, he talked about resources for the Defense Force, those for the police force. He spoke about the report coming out of the U.S. State Department, and everything else.
So most likely you have the big story tonight. We know. You always have the big story.
Well, that's the top story.
Thank you, Carla. And of course, Jimmy, is our weekend anchor. But of course, it ain't weekend yet, so she's covering something. What you working on, Jimmy?
Well, we now have it's officially open. The Bahamas Museum of Junkanoo opened last night at the port. They didn't open when the port opened back at me, so now they're open. So that's what I'm putting together.
All right, and this is the system she types in. Remember, we showed you the system before. So when you see these words tonight, you know that's Jimmy's words. That's what she's gonna be saying tonight, y'all. There you go. That's a script. Thanks, Jody. And this is one of our interns. Of course, she's working too. We send our young people out who are with us for the summer. We send them out and they get stories. As you can see, she's writing a story from what she's been out to. How's that experience been for you?
It's been good. I like it so far.
Good, good. You're working for the best place. You know that, right?
I like it. I think it's the best.
All right, good. And of course, last but not least, the woman who brings it all together tonight, our Bahamas Night anchor, Makushla Pinda. So she's probably shopping online. I'm just teasing.
Not at all.
So what you working on, Lucas?
Some days stories fly under the radar, so we have to go online and see what we could find. One, I'm trying to find out who's probably on our guest list internationally for independence. And two, scoping out Carib Journal. That's one of our go-to sites to see those stories we may have missed locally, but it's gained attraction within the region, like Celebrity Cruises, adding 2 destinations in the Bahamas. So we always try to bring you a newscast that has some feel-good element to it, because it's not all bad in the world, and certainly not in the Bahamas.
All right. Stephen says, hey, cuz she misses the news, and of course. Thank you, cuz. And of course, there's a lot going on. This place is always busy. This is Ilka. Hey, Ilka, what's happening?
I'm good. How are you?
One of our camera people, editors, producers, video editors, and all that stuff. What kind of day you having today?
Great day.
Yeah.
It's going good. A lot of work.
A lot of work. It's always a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ilka. And then, of course, let's go upstairs to show you how it all comes together. This is one of our studios. We call it Studio B. We do our updates from here. We used to do our newscasts from there, but we go upstairs. All of this is a part of our newsplex, where our news department is. And as you can see, we have editing A, B, and C. Editing A, B, and C. And this is the rooms where reporters go to put their stories together. And as you can see, they have a graphic artist and an electronic editor in each room, so reporters can have access to all of those when they're putting stories together. This is Debbie says, hey Debbie.
Hi, boss.
Debbie's
How
one
you
of our
doing?
veteran VTR editors, one of the best. She's been in the corporation for many years. Oh, hi. One of our graphic artists over there. And you can see she's working. Tell us what you're working on.
I'm working on the Bahama Games schedule, softball schedule for tomorrow and for next week.
So these things you'll see on television and on our website and web pages, so people can see what's happening in the game schedule.
They will be also on the televisions, on our social media platforms, everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you. And of course, as you heard Carla talk about the National Security Minister's story, you now see Debbie putting it together, that Carla would have put together. This is her timeline with all of the information, and she's putting that story together in the lineup.
Section of my ministry that they have a task that they do. They look online and as people advertise products with the flag.
We'll make it happen. This is editing room B. Thank you, ladies. And then editing room C, the same kind of thing happens. Is editing? Oh, everybody in here. This is Julian Anderson Roll. He's the assistant general manager of television. Darren Meadows, he's the deputy general manager of Family Island Affairs. They're both working on Bahama Games, and that's what they're doing here with this graphic artist, who's Kaylin. As you can see, he's working on templates for Bahamas Games. So how's that going, guys?
Pretty good. We're just getting points from the previous games, so we could put us in our pre-show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Darren, how's the whole thing coming together?
Coming together perfect, man. You know how it go, the last minute. That's when you have to wait to get things done, but it's stressful but exciting, you know what I mean? So, good.
It's going to be the greatest show on earth from Zednet, right?
Absolutely.
And if I didn't blame them. So Kaylin's getting it together over here. Destiny is working on news, as we're talking about. She's doing, what are you doing, working on the drug bus?
This was for Bahama Games.
Oh, that's Bahamas Games she's working on over here. What's this over here?
Drug bus.
And of course, she's working the lineup to see what she needs to put in based on what's ready, from what's not ready. When you see linked, that means it's already in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so she's busy editing, making sure those video clips get in. She's matching it with the scripts that you see over here. So it's a team effort. A lot of people making this all work every night. Thank you, guys. Just to make sure that we have a great broadcast every night. This is a radio news studio. This is where we anchor the radio news from every day. As you can see, it's not news time, so there's nobody in here, but that's where they anchor the radio news from. So that's pretty much the news complex. There's a whole lot more departments and areas that go on, and we'll show those to you from time to time. So I hope you enjoyed a little tour of the newsroom and the nation's newsroom, what happens every day to make sure you get the latest and news and information. And of course, we can begin to grow from here. It's only going to get a lot better. Thank you for joining us.